Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for a match of the Nairobi Sevens. This one, Kenya in action up against Canada. This is a part of Sevens 2. The Kenyans, they were no longer on the main circuit, which was a massive shame. And I think this shows from the Nairobi support that they definitely should be back on Division 1. But for now, they are taking part in this tournament. Head-to-head up against the Canadians, a side that managed to get themselves the win in the Division 3 Sevens. To move on to this competition, we're just repositioning this green screen. We just finished a Super Rugby stream between the Chiefs and the Blues. Currently, Uruguay versus Germany is going down to the wire, and the Germans have just scored with 30 seconds remaining on the clock, which means more than likely they will be getting themselves the big win there. Back to the bonus here. Kenya, let's go, says Emma in there too. And thanks for streaming, says David. No worries at all. I am more than happy to see Kenya back in action for the Sevens, because like I mentioned, it's just been weird not having them on the circuit. And I'll be honest, the crowds at the Sevens circuit just haven't been the same without all of the Kenyans showing their support for the side as well. But looking through at the starting lineup for the Kenyans in this game, they are only about a minute or two away from kicking off. It will be Kevin Waikesa, George Oro, Vincent Onyala, Samuel Azati, who is also the captain for this Kenyan side alongside George Oro. They have got the co-captaincy in this match. Nigel Amaitsa, Patrick Adonga Okongo, a man's name who I've been waiting to say for a long time because he always finds a way of scoring some spectacular tries for the Seven side. And then also Ojwang, the last man. And the Kenyan team looking through at Canada in terms of what they have got in their starting lineup. John Franklin, Kalen Sager, Elias Hancock, my apologies. Bowen's there as their captain. Donato, Ethan Turner, and Lachlan Kratz. Some decent options off the bench for both of these two sides. I'm looking forward to this 14 minutes of all-out action. Now, it's a little bit of a confusing one, but there are no playoffs in this competition, at least from what I've been able to see. It is all based off where you finish. You get yourself the rankings, and I believe you get points at the end of each tournament. And then whoever's near the top do get themselves to progress through to the championship rounds of the overall sevens that are available that little bit later on. Rugby Pass, anyone want to know how to watch this game? Will there be a semi-final or final tomorrow? Doesn't look like it just for now. Now, that might change, but I believe this is more so just a round-robin situation, how everyone plays everyone in a group stage kind of format. And then, of course, whoever's at the top of the bunch, they do get rewarded in that regard. But they have got Okeo off the bench, Abakusi there, Safari as well. Some handy players off the bench for the Canadians as well, and Shaw, Patterson. We have got there, why did you change layout? It's so bland, says Mochin, because we don't actually have the Sevens lineups. Because of how late they announced the Sevens lineups for these games, you only have about maybe 10, 20 minutes before the game. So just for now, we've got the scoreboard down here that I will be updating. But hopefully we'll have a little bit more preparation for the later Sevens streams taking place tomorrow. As the Sevens, John, Supersport in South Africa. So I think it's on Supersport. Actually, no, it might just be on Rugby Pass TV. In this case, Kenya to win, says Lee. And yeah, massive amount of support for Kenya in the stands in Nairobi. This event was sold out, I believe, yesterday. And maybe even a little bit earlier than that. It is just a party atmosphere in the crowd by the looks of it. Which is another reason why World Rugby need to look at this and realise that they should have kept Kenya on the main circuit. They talked about losing money. Well, they've lost thousands and thousands for their attendance in terms of these Sevens events because of Kenya not being there. Mr. Kiwi Sir been working his cheeks off to give us the best rugby commentary. Make sure to show some love by hitting that thumbs up button. That's the least you can do. Says Taiwan. Anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. The next game that we are covering will be Kenya versus Belgium. That has taken place in around 3 or so hours' time. So I am looking forward to seeing what happens in that game. But yeah, I am in charge of the scoreboard. So if it ends up getting behind in terms of the timing, just know that it is my fault. But first half at this stage, we'll add that, and that. And as soon as it kicks off, we will put it back down the bottom to get us ready. Again, you don't deserve to be on the main schedule, says Kiwi Rob. And what makes you say that, Kiwi Rob? I assume from that one comment you're showing quite a bit of ignorance in terms of what we saw from last year, Kenya. They were in a position where they were getting promoted up until World Rugby decided, hey, we're going to change the rules again. How many times did Kenya make the final or third place playoffs? Is Kiwi Rob. They didn't do too badly overall in last year's season. And if you're talking about like those positionings, there are sides that stayed on the Sevens circuit that you could argue have less chance of winning games than the Kenyans at times. But I think the biggest mistake they made was going down to 8 teams rather than 12. Like, I've already seen, we're only into the third leg of the Sevens. People are sick of the matches and the heads-to-heads that we're seeing currently. But Kenya in the huddle on the halfway line, they are trying to show exactly what the World Rugby Sevens circuit on the championship stage are missing. These boys have been determined. Ever since they qualified for that promotion to then be told not happening anymore, they have been working tirelessly to get back to the grand stage. Oh, we're just about ready to go for this game. Some big units in this Kenyan side. They are fired up as well for this contest. Not only is it Kenya in action for 7-2, but it's Kenya in actions for 7-2 in front of the home crowd that are absolutely rocking this stadium at the moment in Nairobi. But we are underway, ready to go in this contest. And it will be Kenya kicking this one off from left to right. How do we watch in South Africa? I believe it's on Rugby Pass TV already. That ball is loose at the back. It's nicely claimed by Canada. We're only 5 metres out from their own line. A lot of pressure on them. Being forced almost back into the in-goal area there. And it's a penalty. No clear release on the ground from Kenya. Canada decide right now's the time to slow it down. Hi, Hamish, says Danielle. Welcome in. You are doing extremely well. GB springs to mind, says Big Rig. You're not showing the game, brother. What's up? It is because of licensing. Any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube. We have done the play-by-play commentary for every Sevens tournament since the 2020 Olympics. But if you want to watch the coverage, you either need a subscription for the actual providers of the games, or Rugby Pass TV may have it for free, but you do need an email to sign up for that as well. Now ready to throw this one in, Canada. Ready to get this one started. About 38 metres out from their own line here with the line-out throw of Ethan Turner. It is thrown in, a lot of pressure coming from Kenya in that breakdown, locked over the ball, and they managed to win themselves the penalty. Now thinking about taking that quick tap. Instead, they'll go for the scrum. It's on Channel 207 in South Africa on DSTV. What do you think about the Highlanders game from last night? They did very well to win that game. I mentioned about it at the time, though. Had they lost that game, that was almost going to be their season over because they put everything into that match. And if they had lost by a narrow margin, it would have completely ruined them mentally. But luckily for the Landers, they got over the line. And also on Yisha game, says Jim there. I assume that's Where's the Game. It's on Rugby Pass TV. Depending on where you are in the world, it might be on Super Sport if you are in South Africa now, going off to the right-hand side. Ball in their hands for Kenya. 30 metres out. Big driving tackle made by the Canadians. Going back across to the left. I've got plenty of numbers on this left-hand side to be able to work with. One more pass. Skipped out wide. Kevin Waikesa trying to break his way through. Offloads to Onyala. Dragged just into touch. It's a great defensive effort there from the Canadians to be able to force them out. They are not going down easy here, Canada. They had to work hard to get out of Division 3 to then be back on this stage 2. It's great defence in the end. Do you think it was a fluke, says Yeti? I don't think so. I think that the Crusaders probably aren't going to have a game with 20 handling errors again, though. So that was probably the good part of it. Now going back across the right-hand side. Ball is in the hand of the Kenyans. Kevin Waikesa. Now back across to the right-hand side. Skip pass. Moving to the right. Moving nicely down the wing. It's Patrick Adongo-Okongo. And he scores the try with a big diving celebration too. He gets over the line and Kenya strike first in this contest. Very nicely there for the Kenyans. The early try in the fixture. A little bit of dancing too from Okongo when he scored it. Good morning everyone. What time South Africa, says Martin. So at the moment, South Africa, their game is going to be taking place in around an hour and a half's time. Can't you do South Africa and Brazil? We are going to be doing the South Africa versus Kenya game for the women's side of things. That one has gone over. It's going to make the score now 7-0 in favour of the Kenyans. Go like that. Yeah, we'll go like that as well. That is quite the celebration. That would have probably hurt. The ground does look pretty hard out there. Link. So if you type in Rugby Pass TV, that will be your best bet. And that will tell you whether or not that's an option in your country or whether it is unavailable there. Brazil are ahead of Kenya in the World Rugby Union rankings. Says Big Rig. Is that in terms of the sevens rankings, Big Rick? We have got there, yes, Kenya, says Martin. Now running this one forward. Looks like Kenya have turned this one into a rolling maul. Is it raining there, brother? I think it's stopped raining now, which is quite nice. That's going to be called as a scrum. And Kenya now will get themselves the possession, putting pressure on Canada, who ran it in just a little bit too high. No Union 15, says Big Rig. Okay, so they're ahead of them in, is that men's or women's? Which one are you talking, Big Rig? But either way, in sevens, I think that, I'm not actually too sure where Kenya sit compared to the Brazilian women. I know they're both in tier 2. Is Ratama the best 9 right now in New Zealand? That's a statement that you can't make on a hurricane stream, or else they get very angry at you. Hey no. Now away to the left-hand side. Thought about the pass for Kenya, but just hanging on to it now. Looking to the short side here for the captain, Azati. He saw the space, trying to work with it. That one's going to be almost stolen by the Canadians, but kicked straight back into the hands of the Kenyans, and Ojwang goes over. And that is their second try in the match. And the Kenyan crowd, I don't think there's been a single moment of this game where the crowd have been silent in the stands. They have been absolutely loving what they are seeing. Kenya now leading 12-0 in this matchup against the Canadians. Can you give me all the news updates, Hamish? As in, like, in the sevens that we've had so far? We have seen China, we've beaten by Argentina 20 points to 10 in the women's. South Africa beat Spain in the women's 14 points to 12. Kenya beat Brazil in the sevens 15 points to 12. USA beat Belgium 40-0. Germany beat Uruguay 19-14. And currently it's Kenya, Canada 12-0 in favour of the Kenyans. Over there, try number 2, says Danielle. Kenya's women's 20, Brazil women's 25, says World Rugby. Here's Big Rig there as well. But now it's going to be kicked off, taken again by Canada. They're still inside of their own 22, and they just don't seem to be able to get out of there. At the moment, they need to get a run forward. That's nicely done, but the offload risk and reward here for Kenya, who are running it forward. Patrick Odongo Okongo, he does another big try celebration dive. He's going to hurt himself because he just keeps on going for it, and another celebration from the Kenyans as they score up against the USA. They are now leading comfortably in this contest. 17 points to 0. Crowd are loving it. Kenya, the players out there on the field, of course, will be as well. It was just another mistake made that time. John Franklin, the man putting it down. Do you know why Super Rugby Pacific YouTube channel hasn't released the match highlights? I'd say it's on Sky Sport NZ instead. They're normally a little bit quicker at the moment. He's going to hurt himself, says guy on there. Yeah, he's jumping high and he's doing the big gazelle dive. But he just slams into the ground. I've seen too many people do celebrations where they've got injured. I worry that it's going to happen for Odongo Okongo here. Scotland versus England in the Six Nations and the Cricket World Cup. So here's Haino. Ball in the hands of Canada, and they have managed to get themselves the penalty. Quick tap taken from just outside of their 22 now for Lachlan Kratz. Offloads it up to Ethan Turner. Oh, on fire, says Danielle. Do the games overlap, Haino, by the way? Those two? Or is it that they play earlier on in the World Cup? Now, nice pass on the inside. Chance for the Canadians. It's Morgan Denardo who will run it in. And they fire one back. Do Scotland even like cricket? They seem to. They actually aren't too bad at it either. But that is going to be the try between the posts for the Canadians to get them back into this contest. And now, score will be sitting 7 points to 17 between these two sides. It would be funny if Scotland win both. It's a good breaking run and actually a nice offload from Sagar to put it on the inside to Denardo. Kenya just leaving that bit of a defensive error gap. Lets them run it on in. Okay, see how you're covering the Force versus Brumbies. We are not, believe it or not. That game is going to be missed. Same with the ones during the sevens period there. But our next game is going to be in about 2 hours 45-ish. As when the next one's taking place. Starts an hour and a half, so no overlap. Oh, okay, so we'll know that result by the time that the Six Nations game takes place. But halftime in this contest, and it is 17 points to 7 in favour of the Kenyans. A very solid first half from them. Although Canada scoring right at the end of the first half may give them a bit of a chance to be able to fire back in this one. Game is on KBC Plus, says Mishak there. It would be awkward if the two games got the balls mixed up, says Big Rig, and Canada on the board, says Danielle. And best Springboks player, you talking Springboks Sevens or you just talking Springboks in general in that regard? But 3 tries so far. Patrick Odongo Okongo scoring one of them, Ojwang scoring the other, and then Donato for the Canadians being able to get over. So you don't think it's going to be close then, says Kiwi Rob? I didn't say that. I actually think it's going to be very close between the Brumbies and the Western Force. It's just with the time that I got up this morning, I might try and have a bit of a rest in between just so that I can continue the all-nighter without getting exhausted. I take my hat off to you. As I've mentioned before, your commentary is professional and a pleasure to listen to. Generally have the ability and presence to work as a professional level. The Force versus Brumbies, yeah, it could end up being very close, as the Force actually come in as only slight underdogs in that matchup. The Brumbies aren't considered as full strength either. They've lost a few players to other Australian sides, so could be intriguing. Plus, normally when we don't cover a game in Super Rugby, it ends up being very close. So it could even go to golden point. Do you think it'll be high scoring and close or low scoring and close? I think high scoring and close. Like 60 points scored throughout the game, somewhere around there. But second half now just getting underway in this contest. We will update that scoreboard. And we'll go like that. Would be if you play rugby with a cricket ball, make sure you have a fall. Or make sure when you fall, you don't fall on the ball. Well, the Crown Jewel says, hey, no, now past here for Canada. It's at about 40 metres out from the line. In fact, 30 now running down the wing. That looked like he was in touch. Yes, he was. Selling the live stream link. Selling the live stream link. That just seems a bit desperate, doesn't it? Surely you can give it to people for free rather than trying to sell it. Because or else then why wouldn't they just look up where to find it, Ian? But I guess the game's the game. You've got to be strategic. You've got to find a way to make your money. But, yeah, it's on Rugby Pass TV. I can tell you that for free. And imagine trying to do a conversion with a cricket ball. Says Big Rig, Kenya now inside of their 22. $2. Oh, that's a deal, but it is for free on Rugby Pass. Now looking for the ball. And that is going to be the Canadian penalty in their favour. They're going to struggle this year, says Q, for the Chiefs side. Now step on the outside. Sager gets close and he wrestles his way over. That is great physicality shown by the Canadian. And he finishes it off. That is a try, and that has silenced the crowd, as they know how crucial that try may have just been in terms of this comeback from Canada. It was a quick half time. Says Big Rig. It always is in sevens. You only get a couple minutes break and then they're straight back out there. But if the Chiefs had a full strength team tonight, they would have smoked the Blues. The Blues have had a good era from 2020. It's coming to an end now. It's done. Says QQQ. Canada quicken those breakdowns. Got themselves that ball back, and then it's just good pace and power from Cullen Sager down the wing. My back three solid in fantasy, or sold in fantasy. Got 2 players left to play this round. And Canada, says Danielle. And there as well, the kickers missed away to the side, making the score 17 points to 12 between these two sides. There are 5 minutes remaining in this match. Who is going to have a great start to this Nairobi Sevens competition? The last thing Kenya want is to lose in front of their home crowd. Sevens games are like a shot of tequila. And when you catch your breath, it's the second half, says Ruby. All kicked out on the full from Canada. Big mistake made there. It's the type of one that they definitely could not afford. Now gives Kenya a chance to get an attack going from the halfway line. Time is off. They were just throwing a ball back out there on the park. Uh, 17 points for Kenya. 2 tries from Patrick Odongo Okongo. Feel like he needs another one here. My 2 players are Slipper and Williams. How do you think they'll go? Is that... you're going for 2 players in the forward pack. I assume that you have to go for some forwards too, right? Except from KBC, where are you guys watching it? So Rugby Pass TV do have this free to air, depending on what country you're in. Some countries have it geographically blocked. But, yeah, if you have a VPN and you can set yourself to New Zealand or anywhere like that, you'll be able to watch on Rugby Pass for free. And it may even be on the World Rugby YouTube channel for free too. Nice run down the wing from Kenya. Cutting back inwards, looking for the offload, and it will go into touch. Just another mistake being made there. Will be difficult, tough to aim, says Haino. He's elected full 15, says Highlanders fan. Okay, you're probably not going to go too bad with Slipper in the scrummaging department. All right, Kenya have just been told to stand on the edge. Or that line out. 5 points separating these teams. It's thrown in nicely. Canada taking it well. Now moving away to the left-hand side. Little side shuffle there once more. The Blues don't even have an upcoming number 9. They don't have a young fly half. That looks promising. Canada leaving has affected their back row. Mark Talia was a huge loss. Losing Rico hurts them. And Landers and Chiefs final calling it now. And to him for the link. Ian's still trying. Fair play to him. He's really committed to his craft. Now that ball's going to be available. Oh, and penalty. That is going against Kenya for offside. 3 minutes now remaining in this match. And 11 minutes have passed thus far. It is 5 points between them. Kenya got off to a brilliant start in this match, but from there they have kind of hit a little bit of a brick wall in the second half. I've been in the Chiefs by 60 next week. A line-out throw. 2.5 minutes on the clock. We'll mention the next game that we have got is between Kenya and Belgium. That is going to be taking place at 11:52 New Zealand time. So be sure to keep an eye out for that matchup. And I think it is a home game for the Chiefs. I think. Oh no, in fact, no, it is down south by the looks of Highlanders versus Chiefs in Dunedin. And come on, Canada. Pull off the upset now. Kenya back in possession, though, with Kevin White-Kessa. Cross to the left. This is where they want to find Patrick Odongo Congo, although, in fact, out on the wing this time. There's a young 25 and Wabwire. Or Wabwire, I should say. Now across to the right. Kenya, the big cutout pass. So we're using up a little bit more time on the clock as well. Cannot be considered as a bad thing. That's going to be on Gio. Now left again. Kenya shifting it nicely. Great step on the inside from Wabwere. Now Amaitsa. Back across. Right hand side. Oh, beautiful step. He just turned the Canadian's ankle inside out. From, I believe that would have been Nigel Amaitsa once more. Oro gets close. 10 metres out from the line for Kenya. 90 seconds left on the clock as well. You're not streaming Brumbies Force. We are taking that game off. Seeing as we got the 2 Six Nations games later on, that's a brilliant sell on the dummy. And straight through, Amaitsa scores. And that should secure the win now for the Kenyans. As it's a nice, easy one out in front of the post for a simple conversion. And Kenya now, 13 minutes into the game, I would say, have just secured their first victory of 7-2. It could be an upset. Oh, my breath, says Danielle. I love this channel so much, I forgot to hit the like button. And also, Highlander fan, your side with the youngsters, young guys, have at the moment, will win Super Rugby in the coming years. I know we'll win Scotland or England. That's a tough one, to be fair. England come in as favourites, but Scotland have beaten them 4 out of the last 5 times that they've played in the Six Nations. So they've actually got a pretty decent record up against them. Time on the clock currently, 38 seconds remaining on the clock now. Between these two sides, and the score 24 rather than 23. We'll add that one, the extra point. It might not make a difference here, but of course it looks a little bit better for them too. England by 10, says Q. That's a tough one then. Now, low tackle made by the Kenyan defence. Back up to the feet and having another crack at it there was Reece Thompson. Okay, they are just saying about the losing bonus point if you finish within 7. So that is where Kenya, they want to stop Canada from having the chance. And that ball's been passed into touch by the Canadians. Now just the 4 seconds remaining on the clock here. This one is about to be over. It's about to be the first victory for the Kenyans. The next one that we have got coming up, ladies and gents, is taking place in around 2 hours, 30 minutes. That is going to be the match between Kenya and Belgium. Now, just the final moments of this one. Kenya to feed this ball, and they have got enough of a lead here, so they can just decide to kick this ball out, but instead, in the Kenyan way, they are going to go for one last attack. And it looks like they're going to be able to score it out wide. Great run from Safari off the bench. Makes the crowd erupt one more time. And the Kenyans get over for their 5th try of this contest. 29-12. Looking like the full-time score. There we go, like that. There we go. We see how Belgium didn't qualify for... they almost came so close to qualify for the World Cup. CSQ, that is true. They were right on the verge, almost beating Samoa in that playoff match. Hey, awesome as always, Hamish, says Danielle. And please in the crowd, says Vicar Gear. They are absolutely loving it in Kenya at the moment. And awesome, says Zaina Princess. Yeah, Kenya making a real statement in their first game. Their next one is in 2.5 hours. And that is up against Belgium. We will be back covering that game on the channel, as well as a few of the other Kenyan matches coming up later on. So if you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I will see you all for the next one.